What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brendan and I'm BManX45, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have our green deck profile for the Digimon TCG of the BT15 format. This is our green HerculesKabuterimon Insectoid deck. Really great deck, loving it. I know I always complain about how green is always insects or plants, but I really do like Insectoid. The line is really cool. I just wish green was more diversified and had more options to it, but it does with the ST17 Terriermon deck, which is like a beast deck. So we will be doing a deck profile on that in the future, but right now we're running this Insectoid deck and we're loving it a lot. And I want to go through it with you guys and show you all the cool things and talk about possible changes that we could make. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. Without further ado, let's get into it and let's talk about this deck here. We start off with our babies, our 4 Motimons. End of your turn, if this Digimon has the Insectoid trait, it may attack your opponent's Digimon. This deck is all about this pseudo blitz, about passing turn and then attacking your opponent. And so you really do want to attack your opponent. You want to be able to plan it so they have something on the board and so that you can get that suspended. So we all play 4 of that. You got to play that. It's just too good. Starting with our level 3s, we play 4 of the new Tentomon from BT15. He started your main phase by suspending 1 Digimon. One of your Digimon with their Insectoid trait gets 3,000 plus DP until the end of your opponent's turn. And this is by suspending 1 Digimon. So not necessarily your Digimon. So you can suspend your opponent's Digimon with this card. Super good. Give your guy 3,000 DP. It has an inheritable all turns once per turn. If this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle, gain 1 memory. So that's also on your opponent's turn. That'll come up. And then we play 4 Digimon X-Antibody because he's a 3-cost searcher, and he also digivolves for free on a Digimon, and it's on play when digivolving. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with the Insectoid or Machine in its traits, and 1 X-Antibody among them to your hand. Place the rest on the bottom of the deck. We do play an X-Antibody card, so there is a potential multiple hit off this. We do play a card that's not an Insectoid, but we only play 2 copies of it, so it's hardly ever going to come up that this is going to whiff unless you get a bunch of option cards and Tamers. We do play some Kokuamons to digivolve for free. We play 2 of the Kokuamon from BT10, which has your turn once per turn. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon battle, gain a memory. So more memory gain from the inheritable. And we play 2 of the BT1 Kokuamon. It's 1 to digivolve, so that's, not the greatest, but it does have, while this Digimon is a level 6 or higher, it gains security attack +1. So when you do kill an opponent's Digimon and you have piercing, you will get 2 security checks, so that's really, really good. I do like the fact, it is a 1 to digivolve, but sometimes it's really nice to just, if you don't have a good hand and you have this as your only level 3, digivolve and put your opponent to 1. It's not a bad move, so there's that too. That's it for our level 3s, just the 12 of them. Starting with our level 4s, we play 4 Kabuterimon from BT15, the brand new one. All turns while this Digimon is suspended, it isn't affected by effects of your opponent's Digimon. That can be really cool. So you want your Digimon to necessarily be suspended on your opponent's turn, because a lot of the time you're going to be bigger than them if you're playing the deck right. And then it has the same all turns inheritable. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle, gains a memory. And it's nice that it's all turns, and that'll come up later. Play 2 Kokuamon, the promo. On play when digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers can't unsuspend until the end of their turn. That can be really helpful too. And then it has a +2,000 inheritable, which is really nice. I was thinking about playing more of this, but I think 2 is a good number. We play 2 Togemon. Now, this is the card we play that's not an Insectoid, obviously, but I do like it because this deck doesn't have any ways to play your Tamers for free, so this is a really cool way, and it is kind of good with the deck because when your turn once per turn, when you would play a green Tamer card from your hand, By suspending one of your green Digimon, reduce that cost by 3. So that can be really cool. Because you can play your Izzies for 1, which is really good. And then it has the inheritable. When this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green Tamer, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So that can be really good too, because you get the reduced cost in your inheritable, which is good. And then you also get to play the Tamer for free. And even if you have to suspend this, there's something good about that, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. So I do like it at 2. And then lastly, I play 2 Stingmon with the your turn inheritable. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle, gain a memory. So you got a lot of memory gain coming in from killing your opponent's Digimon. So it's 10 champions. Getting into our ultimates, we play 3 of the new Mega Kabuterimon Ace. He's got Blast Digivolve, play cost of 4. Can Digivolve on your opponent's turn during blast timing for free. He's got the on play when Digivolving, one of your Digimon gets plus 3,000 until the end of your opponent's turn. And then if one of their Digimon is attacking, you may switch the attack target to this Digimon. All turns while this Digimon is suspended, it is unaffected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. So you say you have that Togemon to play your Izzy for cheap. You can then play Blast Digivolve into this when your opponent tries to attack over it or even attack into your security. You can redirect the attack. He's going to be up at 10,000. If you have any other boosts, say from the Tentomon, he'd be up at 13,000. So really hard to get over and potentially screwing up your opponent's play. So it can be really, really good. So again, you don't have to worry about that. I'm not playing all insectoids. We play 3 copies of the starter deck for Mega Kabuterimon, which has got the inheritable. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle on your turn and survives, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So, a little bit of aggression there, being able to trash security cards and end the game faster. Also, the cool thing about this too is when your opponent attacks and is deleted by this guy due to his effect, your all turns inheritables of gaining memory by deleting an opponent's Digimon will go off. So you can potentially pass turn back to you when your opponent attacks and you redirect their attack. So that can be really good. Lastly, we play 2 Okumon promo. Your turn when this Digimon would Digivolve into a card with Insectoid and its traits. All of your opponent's Digimon gain all turns. When this Digimon becomes suspended, lose 1 memory until the end of your turn. So again, even if you're passing turn, you're potentially maintaining turn because HerculesKabuterimon does suspend something. So his ability will go off and you will gain memory. So that can be really good. And then inheritable piercing if you have the Insectoid trait, which you always will with your level 6s. So that's really, really good. That's it for our level 5s. We have 4 HerculesKabuterimon, the big boss for the green. Start of your main phase, when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. One of your opponent's Digimon gains piercing for the turn. So he's always going to gain piercing either at the start of the main phase or when Digivolving, or one of your other Digimon. It doesn't matter, but it's probably going to be him. All turns while this Digimon is suspended, it isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. So it's great because you just leave him on the field. You want him to be suspended on your opponent's turn, and then, and he's got piercing. You can attack, you can pseudo blitz. If you have the inheritables, you can gain security attack +1. It'd be so many cool things. And the memory loss from the Okumon, and you can activate as much of these abilities as you want. So if you don't have anything to suspend, you can still give him piercing, although that's not going to matter if you can't attack over opponent's Digimon. He is 12,000 DP. He is a hardy 4-cost Digivolution, but with all your memory gain inheritables, you're going to be killing your opponent's Digimon and gaining back memory. That doesn't matter, and honestly, it doesn't matter because a lot of the time you want to go into your opponent's turn and attack with him and leave him suspended. We play 2 copies of HerculesKabuterimon X-Antibody, which Digivolves from HerculesKabuterimon for 1. You can also Digivolve for level 5 for 4, so if you don't have the HerculesKabuterimon, you can play him. And the nice thing, too, is that's where the inheritable piercing comes in handy. And if you have inheritable piercing, you can give the piercing from the HerculesKabuterimon to another Digimon, so that's really good. And then when Digivolving, if this Digimon has HerculesKabuterimon or X-Antibody as Digivolution cards, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. So we use this to gain some removal. This deck doesn't have a lot of removal, but with this you can send some things to the bottom, say like a Quartzmon, so you don't have to deal with it or get over 15,000, which can be difficult but doable. And then you also have security attack +1, so if you have piercing 2, you can do extra checks when you kill opponent's Digimon. Nice thing about this is you can, with the X-Antibody, go into it, and then you can still gain its effect, and it's not a bad thing to Digivolve into for a cost of 4, and you do have the Modimon there to give you that attack anyway, so that can be really good too. So that's our boss monsters for that. We play 4 Tamers. We play 4 Izumi from the new BT15 set. He's your memory Tamer, as well as on the opponent's turn. When an opponent's Digimon attacks, by suspending this Tamer, switch the target of the attack to one of your suspended Digimon with the Insectoid trait. So really good. Like I said, you don't play him for free a lot in this deck, so that's where the Togemon comes in, because it's a 4 cost. And he will redirect the attack to, say, your HerculesKabuterimon, who is unaffected by effects, and potentially super huge, because if you have any DP buffs, if you have any buffs from, say, a Mega Kabuterimon, a Tentomon, the 2000 DP, he's up at like 14 to 15, 16 above. He's going to be super huge. Your opponent's going to have to try and get over him, and again, you're going to start activating your memory gain effects from your Kabuterimon or your Tentomon, so that can be really good. And then so it's always really, you want to play a couple of these, and of course it's your memory Tamer, but it's really good because it stops your opponent from being able to attack your security, and the fact that they're suspended and unaffected by effects means your opponent can't remove them ahead of time, so that's really good. So you gotta play 4 of those. I was playing 2 ties from ST15 as like an extra card, to gain. When an attack is switched, you can give a Digimon 2000 DP and draw a card, which is really cool. But generally, if you're playing the deck right, you're gonna have a huge amount of DP, and it's really hard to be able to play multiple 4-cost Tamers in this deck, because you're mostly concentrating on your Digivolution costs, and you just want to get a couple copies of this on the board. So definitely think that it's it was a fun decision, but it wasn't really a good decision. It wasn't adding consistency to the deck. So I took the ties out for a second Stingmon and a 4th copy of Super Shocker. Super Shocker is just amazing. It's 2-cost option. Suspend one of your level 6 or lower Digimon. Suspend one level 6 or lower Digimon. If you have a Digimon with Insectoid trait, it gains 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. So again, this is super huge. Its security ability, activate this card's main effect, then add this card to your hand. So if your opponent hits it off security, you can potentially make your guy really big and suspend their thing. So if they have like an ability to unsuspend and attack again, you can choke that out. And just really great card. I was looking at Knowledge of Wisdom. Knowledge of Wisdom is just a worse version of this. You got to have a Izzy on the board to get its extra ability, and it's a 3-cost card. It's just smarter to play max copies of Super Shocker that you can. So I like that, and the fact that you get 2 uses out of it off security is really good. So seeing it in security is not a bad thing. 4 copies of Agility Training. I don't necessarily want to put Super Shockers or Izzies on the bottom of the deck, so I just think Agility Training better than potentially than Memory Boost for this deck. And honestly, you're not going to be attacking and Digivolving in this deck, so you don't have to worry about not being able to use the Agility Trainings to reduce your Digivolutions of your level 3 or level 4 or level 5 cards. So yeah, 1 hidden potential discovered, because if you have multiple Digimon in the field, it'd be really good. Digivolving for free, so that's always good. And then 1 copy of Protoform. Protoform is really great. It's an X-Antibody card, and it lets you Digivolve for HerculesKabuterimon for a cost reduced by 1, so you can do it for 0. Or you can even do it if you don't have the HerculesKabuterimon underneath. and you have to Digivolve from your level 5. You can Digivolve into it for 3, so it's not as costly. And because this guy doesn't have the protection the other guy has, if it dies, you're putting this on top of your security stack, and you're adding one of your pieces back to your hand to make sure you can go back into your line. So I really do like Protoform. This deck, you have Pseudo Blitz, so you don't need to go X-Antibody, attack, Digivolve, because you can just attack, and having the HerculesKabuterimon on board is just as good as having the X-Antibody. But that's the deck, guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think we could do something better here. It's a really cool deck here. I really enjoy this kind of, like, you know, don't let your opponent summon make your opponent afraid to summon anything, because as soon as you have something on the board, it's a target for them, and you have so many ways of getting around it. And so I really like that. The whole interaction on your opponent's turn, making them afraid to attack security, making them afraid to attack your Digimon, is really super cool. And I think it's really, really good. I don't think it is top tier, but it is very competitive. And I think it can, like, you know, reach those heights of, like I usually say, tier 1 point, you know, high tier 2, tier 1.5, and be very aggressive and very competitive. And honestly, a lot of the times your opponent won't know what to do because they won't see a lot of these decks. So I really do like that. And I will be playing this for a few more weeks before I get my bunny deck ready. But tell me what you guys think. Leave comments down below. Tell us what changes you think we could make. If there's anything you think we could do better. I did see Palmon, someone playing Palmons in the deck. I thought it was a cool idea. But I do like the Kokuamon X-Antibody. I think it's an amazing card. And I do like playing Kokuamon, so that's the way I went with that. Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. As always, have a wonderful day. That's all for now, folks.